don't need to search or seek or do anything. You are already it. Oh, wonderful. This is it. You are it. Why search? Why look? Just be. It's so easy to say these things, and I do mean them. It is true, but it means nothing to you. You don't understand it. You don't live this way. You don't feel it. You are not it. Basically, you are trapped in the illusion, in your separate form, in the character that seeks. There are parameters and standards for seekers. And it seems like this is something very judgmental. This person is more qualified. This one is, it will have a hard time just reaching the lower bar of this thing. But it is true, but inside the story of the quest, you can see what are the qualities that the true seeker for the truth needs in order to express the full potential of what he is, what it is, and connect and be realized or enlightened. And it is possible. It is a possibility. While this is each individual's or separate form in the illusion, apparent illusion of separate forms, it is the birthright. It is the true nature of each separate form. Not every separate form is built the same way, and there are characters inside the illusion who are more fit and more evolved and have a higher possibility to really change, to make this enormous change a character should do in order for it to be liberated. So what are these qualifications or qualities that a true seeker, an evolved seeker, has to have? Oh, there are many. There are many qualities that a seeker should have in order for him to reach his full potential. And if he lacks these qualities, he can develop them through his actions. But this is very rare. So this is why this state is very rare. People usually want the outcome, and they are less interested in why and how to do that. They only want, like, to go to a store. Okay, I have the money, I am strong, give me this thing and I'll buy it. And enlightenment is never buying something. It's like you will be the one who is selling this thing in the store because you made it. You made something so wonderful that someone else wants to buy it. It's not you buying something, it's you producing something so beautiful that others want it. This is the state of the true seeker. He is himself a diamond, a jewel, something very, very beautiful that others want. True seekers are basically the nicest people you can meet. They have to be nice, and they have to be very open. They have to be like this thing or this person. When you see him, when people see them, they feel comfortable around them. When you are in the presence of a true seeker, you will feel very, very relaxed and confident, and you will feel that you can allow yourself to open up and to express yourself. Because true seekers have this quality of looking at the person who is with them, really being interested in them, and their ego is not so self-involved, and they don't think about themselves in the conversation, and people react to that and feel that. So a clear sign for a true seeker is someone very pleasant in his behavior towards others. And it doesn't mean you need to be very, like someone who smiles all the time, and like hypocritical smile, just you want to be nice. It is beyond niceness. It's not just the smile. It's the frankness of the character. You can just feel that, oh, this one is like a type. He's a very interesting type. But I feel he's interesting and he will never harm me, and I want to hear what he says, and he sees me. So the quality of being pleasant is not just pleasant because someone is very mellow and attentive. No, it's another kind of pleasantness. It's a place where a person is like comfortable with himself, so he allows others to be comfortable with him. And it doesn't matter if he's prickly in his character or he has a strange sense of humor. It doesn't have to be like in the movies, the nice neighbor. It's creepy. No. Yeah, but he has to be nice in its fundamental nature, because this person is good. He can talk in ways I don't agree with. Maybe he shouts, but you love the way he shouts. You love it because you feel his intentions are good. And you know that. So you can ask this thing about yourself. Do people feel comfortable around you? Open around you? Do you allow them to express themselves freely? Are you yourself very frank and open so they can be the same way? Do you look at them? And it may sound like it has nothing to do with enlightenment or self-realization. This is the character of the person. Oh, but it has all the connection in the world. This thing is connection. This thing is interaction, is synchronicity between oneness within itself, within the separate apparent forms, and a form that allows something to bloom around it is an evolved form. It creates like a perfect storm around it. And it does it by its character, its quality to connect to people. So as you can see, Simcha's way was never very like something like a hermit's way, when you sit down by yourself and contemplate. Wonderful. You can do that. Now she can do that and enjoy it as she enjoys everything else. It's very quiet, but being alone, concentrating on yourself will not evolve you. Investigating who am I through your own experience. It's like looking in a window, looking at the glass of a window and trying to see yourself like in a mirror. There's nothing there to transform this window, this glass, to a mirror. There's no barrier that will allow it It's just looking through the window, and then you don't see yourself, you just see something else. And you do want to see yourself because you are everything around you. And while you can look through a window and look at the little birdie and enjoy it, it will not evolve you. Looking at a flower will not evolve you. It may be very enjoyable, but it will not evolve you. The only way to evolve is to look at yourself, and to look at yourself through a mirror is to look at the other forms that surrounds you, the people that surrounds you. And then you see your own reflection in them, and then you can see what you're doing. What movements do you do? And then you can get to know yourself through others and through your behaviors to them. And so the first thing you have to be a perfect seeker is to have this quality of pleasantness and openness and frankness in your relationships towards others. Do you have it? Do people consider you as such a character? Do they trust you? It is very important to gain the trust. You can also check and see if you're a perfect seeker. If you ask yourself a simple question: how many people need me? In my daily life, how many people can say that they need something from me and that I can help them? Small things, big things. Because this ability to be significant in the lives of others, to be significant and useful, using your talents. This is the wonderful thing. You have a talent and people need it, and then you practice it together and you do things together. You can look at your life and see how much of your potential is being fulfilled through your interactions with others. Do other people ask things of you, the things that you can do? And what is the extent of your doing, of your acting, of your giving? It is a wonderful thing when others need you and you can help them. And you can ask yourself, and it's from the healthy place. It's not, I'm not talking about if you are in a sick relationship with someone needy and it takes away all your energy. This is not what I'm talking about, and it is not recommended in any way, shape or form. Don't give yourself to needy people who only take advantage of your abilities, and it's not really giving. It's something very distorted and warped. But truly, if your daily life is full of giving and in a meaningful way, sometimes very small things, and sometimes you get your talent and you use it, and it's so wonderful, and it creates a movement of you and others. What can be better for a person than to be needed? Than to know that he is a useful kind of fellow. And connecting to the last point I made, the person will not hesitate to ask something from you because you are nice and you know, he knows that you will help him. And you're such, like, a perfect seeker is not someone with, you know, he looks very holy and charismatic, or she looks so detached and beautiful. I don't know. It's not, it doesn't look like that. It looks like a very ordinary, your next door neighbor, an ordinary man or woman, someone that doesn't threaten you. Or if you look from, you see that it's very ordinary, it's very simple. These are the kind of people, the true seekers, are inside the crowd. They don't stick out. They are part of the crowd, seemingly, because they are diamonds and jewels. But they are so great that they are inside the crowd, and they don't make fuss about themselves, they don't connect to themselves, they don't celebrate themselves. Another quality of the perfect seeker is moral values, unshakable, logical, like instincts of being moral, of knowing what is right and what is wrong, what is good and what is bad, and standing, really standing to the side of the good ones, of truth, and fighting for it. Someone who doesn't know to tell the difference between right and wrong can never be enlightened or self-realized. He will stay a character that is trapped inside itself. He will always be like I am, and he is me, and it's okay. He doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need to be enlightened. But in the story, if there is someone who is seeking, and he's a seeker, and he seeks for enlightenment, and while doing that, he's not obeying moral standards, high moral standards that celebrates love, compassion, and truth, and he mistakenly takes the other side because of his psychological structure or ignorance, pure ignorance, or he doesn't bother to investigate the truth, he will never reach this state. It is very interesting to see this movement in the world relating to Israel. People who can see, just see the images, and you don't need to look much, for like a young woman being dragged by terrorists after she was brutally raped, and you can see the blood on her, and getting thrown into a truck. And this is just one image. Or a woman with 2 babies being kidnapped and she's crying. And you can see these images and still cannot recognize that this is wrong, and there is nothing that can justify these actions. Nothing. No aspiring for, I don't know, state or something. There are other ways to fight, and there are not raping and murdering and slaughtering people. So if the world and people cannot see this simple truth, that this is unacceptable for a moral human being, no one should accept this, and you will stand and fight against it. So there are 2 things I can only imagine why the world reacts like this, very pro these actions, pro free Palestine. They connect Palestine to these atrocities. It's a mistake. One is that they somehow twist the logic and like put it on scales. This is what's happening in Israel. Israel is bombing, it's okay. But if you are a true seeker and a person, you will never be able to put these things in a balance, because the nature of violence is right in front of your eyes. You can never accept rape, never, no matter under any circumstances. Rape is unacceptable, and I don't know, beheading people is unacceptable, and you will know that. So this is one thing that like the people who are not truly, who have lost their compass, their ability to see plainly what is good and what is bad, they just make some kind of warped justification to justify their former opinions or popular opinions or something, and in the name of just believing the victim, and just flips everything around it. Everything is just one big mess because they cannot see the simple truth, this is not moral, and a true seeker has to be moral. The second thing I can think about relating to Israel, why people do not accept or don't see this moral thing, is that they don't believe that these things really happened, and they did. So this leads us to another quality of the true seeker, the unwavering thirst for knowledge and the dispelling of ignorance. And it doesn't mean that you sit and you say, okay, I'm dispelling this ignorance and lifting the veil of the illusion. This is nothing. No, the dispelling of ignorance and the knowledge is by looking at your reality and seeing what is. Really, truly looking at what is. If it's, like I said in Israel, what is the state? Are you ignorant about the state? What is Israel? How was she built? What is happening right now? What happened on October 7th? You should look for the information, not through the channels that are given to you. This is what people do inside their seeking for enlightenment. They use like their feed. If there is a feed on YouTube or on Facebook, I don't know, it recommends things that you already liked and loved. And so your investigation is limited to the things that you know. And you need to truly look at the other side, even if it's to see how wrong the other side is, or to get something to make your opinion stronger. But you have to see. You have to see what the information is. So the ability to investigate and the ability to seek for the truth in every situation, really, boldly, without your fears and without what you thought before or what you were thought, someone told you, what you believed, just to see the facts and then make the logical decision about what you think about the situation. It is a very brave thing to do, to fight this ignorance, to acknowledge that you are ignorant, and to be this thing. So this wonderful need for knowledge can lead you to self-discovery, to knowing different things, to open you, to see through the things that you learned what you really think. Wonderful movement that cannot happen in a situation that is very, very passive and accepting of what is, like you are just accepting what is offered to you because you liked that before. This is your preferences. Nothing new can enter, and you cannot shake your minds. You will only get just an affirmation after affirmation that you are right, and you will not evolve. So look, this is the quality of a true seeker. He seeks, he looks, pulls the rug and looks under the rug. He's looking under the chair. It's like a hide and seek, but he's seeking. It's like playing hide and seek and just standing on the spot, not seeking. Suppose you have all these qualities and you are this person. There is another quality you need to be the perfect seeker. And maybe it's the hardest of them all, because all the others are within the game of how you act inside the world, and you can do that, you can feel that, you can do that, you can improve yourself. But this quality is guts or bravery. You need to be very, very brave to be a true seeker, like this diamond, you need to be someone who will be willing to pay the price that he doesn't know. Like, you don't know how much will it cost you. You know, I'm not selling this thing in my stand here in the market because I cannot. I don't have the merchandise here in the back. But I do say, you need to buy this thing. And you'll say, okay, how much does it cost? And I say, ooh, I cannot tell you that. And so you have to decide with yourself. You cannot hear the price and then decide. You must decide before you buy this thing that you are willing to pay any price for this thing. You are. And this is bravery, because you can lose everything if you do that. This is what the mind thinks. And I can understand, so I know, amazingly enough, in my immediate surroundings, I know a person who has all these qualities that I mentioned, who has the moral values, and he's a pleasant, compassionate person, very simple person, and everywhere he goes he's needed, he's always busy, and he's kind and compassionate. He has everything. But he lacks this thing, this bravery. And so the potential is there. It's wonderful. It's close. My character, Simcha's character, cannot promise anything or take someone by their hand and just make him cross the street. He has to do that himself. He has to decide for himself that this is the thing that he is willing to jump over this abyss of nothingness, of not knowing. And I can really understand why he wouldn't want to do that, because he's a rational person, and this is another quality of a true seeker. He's very rational. So he is, for example, this person, he's perfect. And because he's perfect, he knows the heavy price. And because he knows the heavy price, and he's very logical, he lacks the bravery to do that. And I can totally relate, because the character Simcha, I don't know what she would do if this thing came to her 10 years ago and told her, okay, you have all the, you are in the checklist, you're okay, just do this, just take the plunge. And I don't know what she would do. When you're a true seeker, you are like an ambassador of this thing, of this oneness. And if you are an ambassador of this oneness, this truth, this compassion, you need to act like an ambassador, to represent in your behavior and actions these higher values. You become the ambassador. You are dignified. This is your way to respect yourself, to express yourself. And this makes you a perfect seeker, because you slowly become the thing that you seek. This is when the barrier will break, and the expression of the separate form will be as beautiful and complete as the truth itself, without the interference. I so hope to see you, true seekers, express this oneness freely, express all nothingness, burst into laughter, and just celebrate this expression, this wonderful expression, freely.